Have you ever wished for a chance to hit the reset button on your life, just wipe the slate clean and start fresh, with purpose this time? What if everything you're living today was just the first draft, and now you're holding the pen to rewrite the story exactly how you want it? But here's the truth. A new life doesn't come from running away. It begins the moment you decide to recreate, not escape. Now just pause for a moment and picture that possibility. Imagine starting again, not from a place of desperation, but from a deep desire to evolve. This isn't about abandoning everything you've built so far or throwing your hands up and saying, "I'm done with all of it." No, it's about something far more powerful. It's about making a conscious, intentional choice to reimagine your life, to rebuild it piece by piece, and to renew your commitment to living fully. That's where the real transformation begins. Here's a fundamental truth that often gets overlooked. Everything around you, everything you admire, everything you use, everything you aspire to, was created twice. First in the mind, and only, then in the physical world. Think about it. Every skyscraper, every thriving city, every successful business, even someone's fulfilling career, all of it started as an idea, a vision. And your new life is no exception. If you're serious about changing your life, you must start by imagining it vividly. You need to see it in your mind before you can build it in the real world. What does it look like? How do you feel in that new reality? What values guide it? That clarity is the first brick in the foundation. People often ask me, how do I turn things around? They're fed up with repeating the same story. Year after year, the same habits, the same struggles. They're hungry for something different. And my answer always begins with one thing, a decision. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, changes until you choose for it to change. That decision has to be strong, unshakable. It has to feel like drawing a line in the sand and saying with conviction, from this moment forward, everything changes. That's the moment you begin writing a brand new chapter. But here's the catch. It won't happen if everything around you stays the same. A new life requires a shakeup. You must shift something at the core. Start with your environment. Look at who you spend time with. Examine your daily habits. Yes, it takes courage. Because here's the irony. Most people stay stuck in lives they don't even like, simply because it feels familiar. They get cozy in the discomfort. But comfort, as seductive as it is the silent killer of progress. If you're too comfortable, you're not growing. And when growth stops, life quietly starts to wither. So ask yourself with honesty, what kind of life do I truly want to create? And don't settle for vague answers like, I just want to be happy, or I want success. That's not enough. Be specific. Paint the details clearly in your mind. If you're dreaming of a new career, what exactly does it look like? What field is it in? What kind of people are you surrounded by? If you want a healthier relationship, what does that dynamic feel like? What qualities do you want to cultivate? And who do you need to become to live that experience fully? One of the most important truths to accept is this. To begin a new life, you have to let go of the old one. It sounds simple, but it's often the hardest part, because your current life, even the parts you don't love, has become part of your identity. You're attached to it, and those attachments shape your beliefs, your behaviors, and your reflex reactions. Many people say they want change, but deep down they're still holding tightly to what feels safe, even if it's no longer serving them. It's time to get honest. What are you still clinging to? Who are the people in your life? Are they pulling you forward or holding you in place? Some people uplift you, they challenge you, they see the best in you and push you to rise. Others, though, keep you locked into your old patterns, your old fears, your old story. If your circle is full of people who complain, who doubt, who play small, chances are you'll unconsciously start doing the same. But surround yourself with people who dream, who act, who grow, and everything shifts. Their energy rubs off on you. Their drive inspires you. Their commitment raises your standards. And when you start raising your standards, your world begins to change. Still, changing your environment is just one layer. The deeper work lies in shifting how you see yourself. Because at the core of starting a new life is seeing a new version of you. And that brings us to a powerful truth we'll explore next. How the way you see yourself can either limit you or liberate you. Let's dive into that in the next part. You remember from before, we talked about how starting a new life begins with a clear vision of who you want to become. But it's not just about imagining it. It begins with how you see yourself every single day. If you constantly view yourself as someone who's barely making it, who's just getting by, then that's exactly the kind of life you'll create. But if you can look in the mirror and see someone who's rising, capable, confident, full of purpose, then your actions will start to reflect that image. Every step you take will begin to align with the person you're becoming. And it starts with language. You've got to begin speaking the language of your new life. Words carry power. They're seeds. When you speak words of possibility, you plant the seeds of possibility. But when your language is full of doubt, fear, and limitation, that's what will grow in your life. Be mindful of your words, especially the ones you whisper to yourself. Self-talk plays a massive role in transformation. Some people say things to themselves they'd never say to anyone else. Things like, "I can't do this," "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never make it." Those words become chains. What you say creates the reality you live in. Starting. A new life means building new habits, because habits create momentum. Think of each habit as a daily vote for the future version of you. One small action, done consistently, can completely transform your life. Most people believe success comes from big moves, huge goals, dramatic changes, life-altering decisions, but in reality, it's the small, consistent daily disciplines that shape who you become. The version of you that exists a year from now is being formed by what you choose to do today. If your goal is to get healthier, you don't need to go from never exercising to running a marathon. Start small. Take a daily walk. Commit to one healthy meal a day. The key isn't scale, it's consistency. And soon something incredible starts to happen. You begin to feel it, not just in your body, but in your energy, your confidence, your perspective. That's the power of habit. That's the quiet magic of repetition. But there's something even deeper you must do. You have to forgive yourself. Let go of regret. I've met so many people who are stuck, haunted by what they didn't do, by the mistakes they made. But regret, if you're not careful, becomes a slow, silent poison. It weighs you down. It holds you back. I'm not saying, forget the past. Learn from it. There's value in those lessons, but once the lesson is learned, let it go. Picture this. You're climbing a mountain, and in each hand, you're carrying a heavy rock, one labeled past failures, the other missed opportunities. How far can you climb like that? You can't. To rise higher, you've got to lighten the load. To start fresh, you must release the weight you've been carrying for too long. There's one more thing, something few people consider but plays a powerful role in renewal. Beliefs. What you believe about yourself and the world shapes every experience you have. Beliefs are like filters through which you interpret life. And sometimes, to start a new life, you need a new set of beliefs. You may need to challenge long-held assumptions, those quiet rules you've accepted that no longer serve you. Often it's not reality holding us back, but our perception of reality. To move forward, you must break the chains of limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. Start saying to yourself, I am worthy of something better. I have what it takes to create change. Say it enough, feel it enough, and it starts to root itself inside you. But let's be honest, change isn't easy. On the road to a new life, you'll meet resistance. That discomfort is part of the journey. It's the test that determines how badly you want transformation. Some people say they want change, but only if it's easy. They want a new life, but aren't willing to go through what it takes to build one. But the challenges, the discomforts, the struggles, they're the proving ground. They're what forge your resilience. They're the proof that you're committed. So let me ask you this. Are you willing to face a little discomfort in exchange for a new future? Are you willing to feel uncertain, to be stretched, to walk through the unknown? Because that is where the real shift begins. And coming up next, we'll explore exactly what separates those who truly transform from those who simply dream about it. In the previous part, we talked about the courage it takes to begin a new life, the willingness to face challenges, embrace discomfort, and push past your limits. Now here's something important to remember. A new life will ask more from you than any version of yourself ever has before. It will test your endurance, your patience, your discipline, and most of all, your courage. But hear me when I say this. If you're willing to rise to that challenge, if you're ready to answer that inner call, the rewards are absolutely worth it. Just pause and ask yourself, if I could design my dream life, what would it look like? What if you woke up each day feeling excited, filled with purpose, doing something that actually matters? Imagine a life where you're surrounded by uplifting people, where you feel energized, where you're constantly learning, growing, and evolving. Can you feel that version of life taking shape in your mind? Then here's the real question. What are you willing to do today to move closer to that vision? Because starting a new life doesn't happen in one giant leap. It unfolds one step, one choice, one decision at a time. It's not about perfection. Don't wait for everything to line up perfectly. Don't wait for that magical moment when everything just feels right. That moment doesn't exist. All you have is now. And now is the perfect moment to make a decision and take the first step, no matter how small. When you wait for perfect timing, you're giving yourself permission to delay. You say, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll do it when the time is right. But if you're always waiting, you'll never truly begin. And here's the truth. Once you take action, the path begins to reveal itself. The next step becomes visible, and then the next. And before long, you're already moving forward. Starting a new life also means learning to view failure differently. Most people treat failure like a stop sign, something to fear, something to avoid. But if you're truly committed to changing your life, you need to treat failure as a teacher. Every mistake holds a lesson, and every lesson moves you forward. I used to think every failure was a personal blow, something that chipped away at my confidence. But one day, it hit me. Every failure was simply showing me what didn't work. It was redirecting me towards something better. Think about it. If you've been living one way for years and now you want to change, you're going to make mistakes. That's part of the process. Just like a child learning to walk, they fall, they trip, they cry, but they don't give up. And we as adults can learn a powerful lesson from that persistence. So when you stumble, when you mess up, don't let it discourage you. Remember, failure isn't final. It's just a necessary step in the journey. And there's one more thing you must have to create a new life: discipline. People often shy away from this word. It sounds harsh, like restriction or punishment. But I'm here to tell you, discipline isn't a prison. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your results. It's what keeps you going when motivation disappears. Because in the beginning, sure, you'll feel inspired, you'll feel driven, but that inspiration will fade. It always does. Discipline, however, sticks around. It wakes you up. It keeps you focused. It reminds you why you started. The good news is, discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. You start with one small habit, then another. You build layer by layer. The key isn't doing everything all at once, it's staying consistent. Keep showing up. Keep putting in the effort. Even if it's just a little at a time, those little steps are building the life you want. And here's something most people overlook. To begin a new life, you'll have to leave your comfort zone. I get it. Comfort zones feel safe, warm, predictable, but here's the truth. Nothing grows there. Growth happens just outside that cozy little bubble, and that's where the magic begins. As we mentioned in the previous part, real transformation begins the moment you step outside your comfort zone. That's when change starts to take shape. But be prepared, because the moment you begin to stretch beyond what's familiar, your mind will start playing tricks on you. It'll whisper things like, "What if you fail? Who do you think you are to do this?" Quiet doubts that, if you're not careful, can hold you back. But here's what you must remember. Those thoughts are just thoughts. They hold no power unless you give them power. One simple but powerful tool I often use when doubt creeps in is to flip the question, what if I succeed? Most people spend their lives haunted by, what if it doesn't work? But what if it does work? What if you really can succeed? What if all the changes you're trying to make actually lead you to exactly where you want to be? Give yourself permission to consider the best-case scenario instead of always fearing the worst. Choose hope over hesitation. And here's something else you'll need if you want to build a new life. Goals. You can't begin a new life without knowing where you want to go. Think of goals as the milestones on your journey. They give you direction, focus, and something meaningful to strive toward. But setting goals alone isn't enough. You need to make them a visible, daily part of your life. Most people write goals once, maybe at the start of the year, and then forget about them. But if you're serious about starting over, you've got to keep those goals in front of you. Write them down, read them every day, break them into smaller, manageable steps so they feel achievable, and keep moving toward them, even if it's just one step at a time. A small step forward is still progress. And when you reach one of those small goals, celebrate. Acknowledge your progress. Even a tiny win matters, because success builds upon success. Each win adds momentum, fueling your drive to keep going. Starting a new life also means taking responsibility for where you are and where you're heading. This can be hard for some people to accept, but it's the truth. As long as you keep blaming others, the world, or your circumstances, you hand your power away. You say, "I can't change because of them." But when you accept responsibility, you take your power back. You say, "I am where I am because of the choices I've made. And if I want to be somewhere else, I need to start making different choices." That's empowering, because now you're in control. From this moment on, you'll need to start making new choices every day. Every moment presents you with a decision. Some are small, others big, but all of them add up. Each one either brings you closer to the life you want or pulls you further away. So get into the habit of asking yourself, is this choice aligned with the new life I want to create? It's a simple question, but it's a powerful compass that can keep you on track, especially when you're tempted by comfort or shortcuts. And there's one more vital ingredient for creating a new life: patience. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey. There will be days when it feels like nothing's changing, when progress is invisible and you begin to wonder if it's even worth it. But hear this: every small action, every disciplined step is moving you forward. Change takes time. Real transformation unfolds slowly. But if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up, you'll eventually look back and realize just how far you've come. Be patient with yourself. It's okay if things don't happen as fast as you'd like. It's okay if you stumble or feel discouraged. What matters most is that you don't stop. Keep growing, keep going. Because growth is like planting a seed. You don't see the fruit right away. But with care, with effort, and with trust, it will bloom. And once you've planted those seeds and nurtured them daily, there's one final element you'll need to make your transformation complete. And we'll dive into that next. In the last part, we talked about patience, about nurturing the seeds of change with time and care. Now here's something you need to hold close to your heart. If you keep taking those small steps forward, you will get there. One thing I want you to remember is this. Starting a new life isn't about running from your past. It's not about denial. It's not about wiping the slate clean as if nothing ever happened. It's about learning from what has been and moving forward with wisdom. So many people feel like they need to abandon everything they've done, to erase their mistakes and start completely over. But here's the truth. Your past holds value. Even the difficult moments, even the painful ones, taught you something. They helped shape who you are today. Instead of trying to escape your past, embrace it. Carry its lessons with you, but don't let it control the direction of your future. And above all, never forget this. It's never too late to start again. Whether you're 20, 40, or 70, if you have the desire to change, you absolutely can. I've seen people reinvent themselves at every age, in every circumstance, from all walks of life. Age is not a barrier. Circumstance is not a barrier. The only true barrier is the belief that you can't. So don't let that belief stop you. You can always rewrite your story. Think of life as a series of seasons. There are seasons for planting, seasons for growing, seasons for harvesting, and sometimes you need a season for rest, a time to reflect, to reimagine, to prepare for what comes next. And maybe, just maybe, this is your season of renewal. A time to begin again, to plant the seeds of a fresh beginning. Starting a new life means giving yourself permission to be a beginner again. Some people are afraid to start over because they worry about being inexperienced, about not knowing everything from the start. But remember this, every master was once a beginner. Every expert started with zero knowledge. So don't let the fear of not knowing stop you from taking that first step. Embrace the learning curve. Embrace the newness. Let the excitement of creating something different fuel you forward. And most importantly, know that you don't have to do it alone. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who believe in you, who cheer you on when things get hard. Seek out mentors, people who've walked this path before. A good mentor can change everything. They can guide you, share what's possible, and help you avoid common pitfalls along the way. Life is precious. It's a gift, and you have the power to make it into something beautiful, meaningful, and true. Don't settle for a life that feels less than what you deeply desire. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Decide, right now, that you're going to create something new, something better. Decide that you're going to become the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. And when you are truly ready to begin again, remember this. Everything you need is already inside you. You have the strength, you have the wisdom, you have the courage. And if at times you need help along the way, that's okay too. We all need a hand now and then. But the power to change, the ability to begin again, it's been within you all along. So take that first step today. Dream it, plan it, and then act on it. Because if you keep moving forward step by step, one day you'll look back and realize you've come so much farther than you ever thought possible. Your new life is waiting. All you have to do is begin. So now, the question is no longer, can you start a new life? The real question is, will you? Because everything you need is already inside you. The path may not be easy, but it's possible. And that possibility, it begins the moment you decide. If this message resonated with you, take a deep breath and take that first step. Even the smallest move forward can create momentum. And remember, your past doesn't define you. Your choices do. So choose courage, choose growth, choose the life you've always imagined. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in this journey of transformation. And if you're ready to inspire others, share this video with someone who needs to hear it today, because the journey to a new life doesn't have to be walked alone. We rise together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.